when people see our ads, instead of being in a cab where they may go spend their money any place they happen to be, they will spend their money specifically in one of their stores because they're there. If you see an ad for soap and you say, "Oh, I need soap," and you're standing in front of the soap aisle, you reach your hand down and you get it. We've done research that shows that all of it shows that people tend to buy more of the advertised products when they're in the store. The numbers are very convincing. The sample size is well over 2,000. I mean, significance is not an issue. There's a good size of effect. People do spend more money on these products when they're in the stores. So my claim is that it's silly. I would argue that it's silly to have us paying them anyway. We're paying them to help them make money, which is crazy.
I see. So, explain to me who are your competition?
Mm. At this point, we don't have any competition, and again, let me explain that has to do with the definition of what we do. There are two other major out-of-home networks in India, and one major Pakistani. There are two major out-of-home networks in India: Live Media and I forget the name of the other one. Live Media being a major problem, but and what they do is they have ads outdoors in malls and coffee shops in public places where the idea is to have people come by and say, "Oh yeah, I feel good about that." It's an extension. Kiosks, you can have that outside, anything like that. Um, that's our competition. But my claim would be that we in fact have no competition because there is no one who's doing direct in-store advertising of specific products designed with advertising designed specifically to sell in a short period of time. There are people who run large ads and stuff like that, but that's not actionable. Our what we do is actionable.
So, basically, you are, if I understand correctly, you are going to visit your major clients and try to sell them the idea that you are changing your business model.
Yes, that what and further than that, we're going to change our model in that it's the original contracts were negotiated on a bad model. Our new definition is that we are a in-store communications company that is directly in store. That we will we're in fact what we're investigating is all kinds of interactive media, the use there's already in some of them the use of Bluetooth, where someone can come in with a phone, and upper class Indians are just like Americans, with a phone and see an ad that they like, and use their Bluetooth and get a coupon in the store coupon. Say, I like that. I want some of that. Okay, well, click, down it goes, and you walk to the counter and you get credit for an in-store coupon. Nobody has anything like this, I don't think, in the world. We also have some technology coming online that we can use that people can look at, like for example, if you want to buy a car, this pulled out of it, you can look at it and say, okay, I want this kind of car. Well, maybe I'd like this kind of color. I can have this kind of roof. And we have an interactive system that they could literally just make the kind of car that they want on a kiosk. Those are just two examples. They're coming up with more things. We had a presentation with a guy who suggested that smell is an important part of life and selling, and he has a system where we could have Tide. Suppose we're selling a cookie, which we do. We sell some cookies. We could literally, while that ad is playing for that cookie, we could have the cookie scent being distributed throughout the store. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So we're not renters my major point to them will be that we are not renters, we are partners. We have made them money, we're going to make them more money. Having us pay you a certain amount for us to be there is crazy. I understand why it was done in the first place, because we didn't have a model of what we were doing, but we have evolved, and we need to change with that.
Getting back to the debt that the company has,
Right.
explain to me the current financial situation of the company.
We're not in good shape. We're making money, and we're making more money. We would, if we didn't have the debt, we would be doing fine.
When you saying that you are making money but you are not in good shape,
Mm. Because we have this huge debt that it exists. So we
and the debt is related to the contracts.
yes,
I
yes.
see.
The debt is because we've contracted to pay them rent every month, and a large amount of money every month.
What are the choices the company has at this moment?
I see that we can do three things. We can either renegotiate contracts and then essentially freeze the debt that we owe and say, look, we accepted this debt. We understand that we owe you however much money we owe you. We're going to freeze that. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to come up with money from other sources, number one. Number two, we're going to try to grow ourselves out of it, because without that debt, we would be doing fairly well. And those are, and then we'll just go forward and we'll do a profit sharing sort of thing. So in a profit sharing, if we don't get any money, they don't get any money. Nobody loses money. The other options are to allow the company to be bought by Live Media, by this Rajan character who wants to take over, who is, I think, is putting a lot of pressure on our creditors to, to put pressure on us to get us to give him the money, because that's what he wants. He wants us to say, okay, we're going to sell to Live Media for nothing, and they will assume the debt. Well, what I'm going to say to my clients is, even if that happens, if we do that, I'm going to say to them the following: look, if you insist on getting your money now, you will bankrupt us, and as a result, you will get whatever pennies on the dollar of the debt that you owe us.
Getting one step back. What is the participation of this Rajat guy in the company?
He is officially on the board because he bought all of the shares from the Intel, even though he is officially a share member and a board member.
And what is his participation? How many shares he has?
He has about 47% of the shares. I have 41% of the shares. The remainder is spread between one other person who has 2%, and then the rest go to this Rajan character, or Bunty. I'm sorry, Lester Bunty.
I see. And what is your position in TAC Media?
Me?
Yes.
I am the chairman of the board. I have, because we have not been able to find anybody to take over leadership, I have taken leadership, and I have tried to do everything with the people on the board who support me, who are G2 and Bunty. And by the way, that part of the situation is, if Bunty and G2 support me, there's nothing Rajan can do. If anything slips, Rajan can have the majority of the board, and there's nothing I can do.
How do you plan to maintain the others' shareholder support on your position?
Largely with just personal persuasion. I think that to show them that, well, they're